Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, the best 3rd/4th tier Pokemon Go battler in the world, and today we're talking Master League Classic because there is no way I have XLs for Open Master League, and I suspect the majority of you do not as well. So we are talking Master League Classic. We're gonna go over info, top 20 PVPoke rankings, and then I got 3 sets of teams. I have 3 teams first that I did very well with in the last Master League Classic, so I'm gonna go over those teams. I got 2 teams that I built, one with Zekrom and one with Reshiram, since they were just in raids. And then I have 2 teams of all non-legendary because I know some people don't have any legendaries, so I did my best to create 2 teams that are non-legendaries. Timestamps below. I appreciate if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button and comment to help the algorithm and get these videos out there as I move towards my goal of like 10 to 20,000 subscribers in the midterm here. But let's talk Master League Classic because we have Master League Classic, and the Holiday Cup, but Master League Classic from December 27th to January 10th. The Holiday Cup goes to December 31st. So if you do not want to play Master League, you can do Holiday Cup for like another 5 days, which is nice. 3 times Stardust for the win rewards. Again, so the reason they do this is because they did not want you to just like auto quit and get the end of set rewards. So they make you play to get the win rewards. So it's not as much dust, which is annoying, but I understand the logic behind it. So let's now go into PVPoke rankings. So for those of you who have not played Master League before, the meta doesn't change, right? It's the same 20 to 30 Pokemon every single season, which actually makes it a little easier if you've played it more than once because then you just know what to expect and you know the matchups. So let's just go through this somewhat quickly. Groudon is number 1. I still don't know why it's number 1 because it was number 1 for a while because a lot of the teams just had like Melmetal and Dialga. But now you've added a couple other things like Zarude is added, which causes it problems. Lugia is added as a flyer, that causes it problems. Ho came in there, causes it problems. Dragonite was always a problem with it, right? So it's got a lot more weaknesses now than it did before. So I'm surprised at number 1. Again, it's still great for your Melmetal and Dialga, right? That's your main use for it. Melmetal was always number 2 or strong up there because of Dialga. It was the main, your main obstacle, not main obstacle, your main counter to Dialga. And has to play like otherwise because Superpower Rockslide just super spammy. Ho is a nice counter to Groudon. And just like the Earthquake is nice for the Melmetal and Dialga. And then Brave Bird just is a beast of a move. Lugia with Aeroblast. Someone told me the statistic, which I find hilarious. Aeroblast Lugia, a resisted Aeroblast does more than a super effective Hydro Pump from a Lugia. So that's why you always run Aeroblast, because it's just a beast of move. It's a super, super tanky Pokemon. Super strong overall. Just a nice safe swap. Even in bad matchups, it's a nice safe swap. Yveltal's a nice pick because like you got your Giratina in there. And it's running with Focus Blast, so it gets to pretty quickly. So to blast the steals is pretty nice. Dialga, we all know what Dialga is. It's been in for a while. Garchomp, Earth Power, Community Day. Everyone should just have it because they just came out with it. You can run it with the bait Samtomb. Some people do Samtomb bait. I prefer just having 2 Earth Power Outrage just for 2 like nukes. Again, Earth Power nice for Melmetal Dialga, and Outrage nice for your just wider coverage, quite honestly. Mewtwo here was a Focus Blast. I run mine with Shadow Ball, Double Legacy. It was good until Zarude and Yveltal came in. Now it is not good, so I do not suggest a Shadow Ball. I suggest either Ice Beam or Focus Blast. Either are a nice second move on top of Side Strike. Zekrom, which I'll go over the build, and Reshiram is at 18, so I'll kind of go over those when I talk about the teams. Giratina Origin is just kind of like it's weak against dragons, right? Because it just gets like it's half dragon. But the Shadow Balls are pretty nice coverage overall, again, but now you have Zarude and Yveltal, so it's a little less stronger than it used to be. Zarude, I saw a couple because it's a nice core breaker on like Mewtwo, Kyogre, it does extremely well against, so it's got some nice play. Dragonite was super strong back in the day because it was the main response to Groudon. But again, now between all the like Melmetal and Dialga always cause the problems, and now with Zacian coming in with your play rough, and Zacian number 17, no chance. Zacian is going to be like on everyone's team because the close combat and the play, it Snarl generates super quickly. Close combats can basically one-shot Melmetal Dialga. Play rough, wide coverage on Yveltal and Zarude, and strong just in neutral matchups against like Mewtwo and stuff like that. So no, there's no way it's at number 17. Snorlax says safe swap. Again, yeah, Snorlax is pretty good. Like your main thing is you're just absolutely wall Giratina Origin. But outside of that, it doesn't have like a lot of winning matchups. It's mostly just used like as a safe swap to get out of bad matchups. Palkia, I'll talk about because he was on one of my teams. I just went over that. Reshiram and Mamoswine, I've talked about. Go see one of my like 5 videos on Mamoswine. It can hit super effective on the Groudon. Your Bulldoze great against Melmetal and Dialga. You can just go even Avalanche against Dialga and do it well there. Flyers and Lugia and Yveltal and Dragon and like wide coverage. It's a little glassy. You gotta watch that. So let's start with the 3 teams that I did very well with. And excuse the snapshot. I just took it from my video because go watch my Friday vlog. I got 2 kids, no time to do this. So this was my counter. This was for Zarude. Let me just put that out. But this was my counter Zekrom team, which is Groudon, Kyogre, Dialga. And most Zekroms run play rough and close combat. So your Groudon wins there and your Kyogre wins there as long as it's not running Wild Charge, right? And even in the bad matchup against Dialga, you could still hit super effective with the Iron Head. So this team did really, really well. Counters Zekrom, super strong Pokemon all around, right? You have your Kyogre's main weakness could be Giratina, which Dialga covers. Melmetal is going to be bad for Dialga, so you cover that with Groudon. Groudon's going to be weak to Flyers, so Dialga, and to a certain extent, Kyogre in most of those matchups does pretty well. So the team works very well together. I will link these 3 teams, my videos in the description below if you want to go see how they are used. The second team was a Ho-Oh Core Breaker because then on top of Zekrom, you had Zarude coming up everywhere when it came out. And you want to know what a Core Breaker for this is? As long as it's not running Wild Charge, the Zekrom can only throw Play Rough, which is resisted, and Close Combat, which is resisted, so that's great. And then you have a half Grass, half Dark, which you could just Incinerate and Brave Bird. So absolute Core Breaker and is one of the beasts. Like I said, it's well against Dialgas and everything like that. So super strong Pokemon. Paired it with Mewtwo as a safe swap. Again, don't run Mewtwo as a safe swap with Shadow Ball because you can get walled very, very easy. I really am, like, as soon as I can get a new, this isn't even a hundo, as you can see, it's a 14, 15, 15. But as soon as I get like a hundo Mewtwo, I am absolutely building it up with Side Strike and like an Ice Beam for sure. And then Dialga just in the back, just for, again, wide coverage. You're a bit weak to like Giratina to a certain extent in the front, so you need something in the back to cover it. And team number 3 was built around Palkia. So same sort of thing. It's actually the very similar first 2. And just built around Palkia instead because I wanted, you need to count. So why I also built it around this is because Zekrom, again, Palkia is just going to get ripped with the play roughs, and it's a dragon, so it can't throw anything super effective. So you need 2 Pokemon that can deal with Zekrom, and Ho and Mewtwo can both win that matchup. So that is why Mewtwo and Ho are nice core 2 if you want to deal with Zekrom. So those are the 3 teams. I will link those videos below of how they played out. Now, I built a Zekrom team, and unfortunately it starts with Zekrom because, again, look at those down the board. I don't know how you rank number 17 when you take out almost everything in the top, but there you go. Look at the circles there that I talked about. You even win against Mewtwo? That's interesting. But like Groudon, Ho-Oh are their main losses right there, right? So great down the board. Zekrom, Ho-Oh is your main weakness, right? Like I said. So I threw in Zekrom, and because look, Giratina, Zarude, and Ho-Oh are 3 weaknesses. Zekrom is fantastic against those. Wild Charge on Zekrom there, and this is the Dragon on for Giratina's. And then I needed like a third one to deal with Groudon because it's your main weakness there, and just kind of like a safe swap and all-encompassing down there. You need to like Landorus and your Dragons, Togekiss and Dragonite. No, Togekiss and Dragon, but so Lugia, again, Lugia, bulk of a safe swap. Even in terrible matchups, you're never really out of it. So that is one team, pretty bulky team, hard hitting up front, bulky, and hard hitting if you land the Aeroblast, that's for sure. So that is a team that if you have them try out, I do not have a Zacian built up. I do not have a Lugia built up, so I will not be using that. And the next team, Reshiram. Started with Reshiram, and then again, Reshiram's a little trickier because it's half. Don't want to get this wrong. Is it half dragon, half fire? So you don't do well in a few matchups here. Or is it half? I forget what the other typing is on. It's half fire, anyways. Half fire, half. Anyways. So you have a lot of circles there, right? Dialga, Garchomp, Mewtwo, Zekrom, Groudon, Melmetal. So you need a Pokemon that can deal with all those. And Yveltal is a strong answer for almost all of those. Again, the Dark Pulse, as a flyer, you do super well against like Groudon and then that. And you have the Focus Blast to hit Melmetal and Dialga. So it's a great. And then Mewtwo, again, just throw in a safe swap there, whatever safe swap you want. I use Mewtwo as a safe swap in this scenario, just because it covers Mamoswine Landorus down here. And just getting ahead on energy with a Mewtwo with Side Strikes, you're never behind there. So those are the two teams I built around the two legendaries that just came out. So now what do you do if you do not have any legendaries? You try to build non-legendary teams. And again, these non-legendary teams are not amazing, but I tried to do my best that if you want to compete, this is how I would do it. So you need 3 Pokemon that can hit or line. So let's just start with Melmetal because some would say that's cheating. If you have Google Pokemon Home, whatever it's called, which everyone should because it's free to get, and you can get the Melmetals. Like if you're a free player, everyone should have the Melmetal candies to build a Melmetal. If you don't, Magnezone is another option, but it won't do as well against Dialga, right? That's one of your main things there. But Melmetal, nice coverage on like Flyer there, Dialga, and just a few things that you can just like spam the superpowers and the rock slides. Dragonite, like I said, if you played in the early seasons like 1 through 3, Dragonites were everywhere. Dragonite was the anchor of teams, and as you can see there, like Groudon still does well against like Garchomp and Mewtwo and Zekrom, like Giratina. Just go down the board. It has a lot of strong matchup. Again, now Zacian's there, bad there. Lugia's in there, you lose that. Dialga and Melmetal were always your 2 weaknesses, right? And Togekiss obviously as a charmer, but a lot of coverage with Dragonite. So build a team around Dragonite. And again, your main weakness is going to be a Melmetal overall. So I threw in Swampert just because Swampert has that coverage on Melmetal, and Zacian, it can just spam the Hydros. It's got just like some okay coverage overall. Like you can just like spam the Hydros in some of these neutral matchups. Run it with Earthquake, obviously, for the Dialga matchup and Melmetal matchup. But yeah, you can spam. Like, you lose to Ho even though you're a water. That's interesting. But I guess they get to the Brave Birds fast, and one Hydro probably won't take them out. But that is one team that you can try if you don't have legendaries. And the second team you can try if you don't have legendaries, went a little too far in my thing here, is Garchomp, Mamoswine, Togekiss. So there's one thing I want to say about this team. I did run the analysis because I looked at this team. I'm like, Kyogre's going to wreck this team. And you do lose to Kyogre in all 3 matchups, but I ran the Togekiss and Garchomp analysis, and you're like, the Kyogre's left with like 23, 28 HP left. So you lose, but it's not like they're left with like 80 HP, right? So it's not a terrible matchup. So how did I build this team? I built it around Garchomp because Garchomp just, again, had its community day. It's one of the top like ranked Pokemon. You have the Earth powers for the Melmetal Dialga. You have your Outrage for your like Zekrom there and Giratina there. You're weak to Ice. You're weak to what else are you weak to? No, not Water because you're half Dragon. What else are you weak to? You're weak to Ice for sure. That's why. Charmers. Right, Charmers and Dragon. So those are your 3 weaknesses. So that's why Mamoswine, Togekiss, and Dragonite have those big circles there filled in. So you need 2 things to deal with them. What's the thing we can deal with Togekiss and Dragonite, and it has been a beast of mine for many, many seasons. That is Mamoswine. Again, you lose maybe the 1 shield against Groudon, but I think can take. I'm pretty sure you could take the 1 shield, and I have to check IVs on that one because I'm pretty sure or you're gonna grab a 2nd shield there. But like Fire coverage, Lugia, Yveltal, you win Dialga. Yep, I've won that. I've shown you can just go Avalanche and beat Dialga there. And then you go down there, you got your Landorus, Togekiss Dragonite coverage right there, which is very, very nice. And then the Mirror Match Mamoswine. And then you want one more Pokemon, and your main Zamazenta, Zacian, were your main weaknesses down there. Palkia, so threw in a Charmer to deal with those. Just out Charm. Again, there's a lot on the board that Charm is still good against. And you take the Groudon matchup too, just going straight Charm. They can get you pretty low with the Fire Punches, but you still take it. So yeah, as you can see, you have triple X's there, so you win all of them against Zekrom, Zarude, and Giratina. So like that's pretty nice. And on the Garchomp as well, and double on Yveltal. So it's a pretty solid team for not having any legendaries. So yeah, give it a try out if you don't have any legendaries and you want to deal. So those are the teams. I am filming this pretty early because obviously Christmas stuff just happened this past weekend, so I got some family things. So I probably won't be able to film much. So I am very unclear what I'm going to do tomorrow. You're either going to see a Holiday Cup team that I did really well with, or I'm going to showcase, if I did not find a team that I like, I'll just do my battles from Monday for for Master League. So one of those two will come tomorrow. And then I'll probably focus on Master League for the rest of the week. But maybe Holiday Cup one or two more times. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's it. Hope this is helpful. Again, appreciate if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to this channel. And then if you have any I always forget to mention this. If you have battles you want me to showcase, there's a submission form in my description. So if you want me to showcase your battles, if you either have a unique team or you want me to, even if you're like a low person and you want me to like kind of like critique your battles, like I'm fine with doing that too. So yeah, so in the description, it's just submitting a link through Google Drive. Just make sure I have access to the link. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.